This is one of the best classes in Tashas.
You have plunged into a pact with the deeps, an entity of the ocean, an elemental plane. The elemental plane of water, or another otherworldly sea, allows you to draw on its ballistic power. It is merely using you to learn about terrestrial realms, or does it want you to open cosmic floodgates and drown the world? Perhaps you have been born into a generational cult that venerates the Fathomless and its spawn. Or you might have been shipwrecked and on the brink of drowning, and when the patron grasp offered you a chance of life, you take it. Whatever the reason for your pact, the sea and its unknown depths call to you. Some of the entities that in the deep that might be giving out some of these powers would be krakens, ancient water elementals, godlike hallucinations dreamed into beings by the Kuatoa, merfolk demigods, sea hag covens, and anything else you can damn well come up with that's got to do with the ocean.
Expanded spell list.
Yep.
They're pretty much storm related. Create, destroy water, thunder wave at first level, gust of wind and silence.
Yep.
Lightning bolt, sleep storm. Control water, excellent spell.
Yeah.
Summon elemental, water only. I didn't actually see that before. That's amazing. I kind of like that.
Yeah, keeps it on theme.
Yeah, keeps it on theme. Bigsby's hand.
But appearing as a tentacle.
They're really specifying it. It's like, hey man, we don't give you this is Bigby's fucking tentacle. Yeah. Why am I swearing so much? I apologize, man.
And Cone of Cold. They're the top of the list.
Cone of Cold. Why not?
Good spells.
Great spells.
There's some better ones than others, but definitely they're all. These extra spell lists are great that they always add something that's on point with the character. They didn't just make you choose some spells off any list. It's like here's a hot list of spells that keep you in theme, to keep your theme running for this character. So I love this, and I hope we see it from now on.
Yes, 100% agree. No more of this fucking alarm clock sorcery shit. First level, fantastic level. We actually had Rita play one of these.
My wife, yep.
Yeah, I should say that. Tentacle of the Deeps, that's the first level feature. You can magically summon a spectral tentacle that strikes at your foes. As a bonus action, you can create a 10-foot long tentacle at a point you can see within 60 feet of you.
Yeah.
That tentacle lasts for 1 minute or until you use this feature to create another. When you create the tentacle, on that turn, you can make a melee spell attack against one creature within 10 feet of it, so it's got reach.
That's awesome.
And on a hit, it takes 1d8 cold damage. Its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. And when you reach 10th level, the damage increases to 2d8. So already fantastic. But then it keeps going and it says as a bonus action, you can move the tentacle 30 feet and repeat the attack. So it's a free spiritual weapon. That's better than a spiritual weapon.
Better than a spiritual weapon, yeah.
You can summon it a number equal to your proficiency, and you regain it with those uses with a long rest. Thoughts? Apart from awesome.
It right from level 1, you are on theme, and this will stay with you the whole way through. It increases a little bit, but I think it's great. You're on theme already from level 1, and you're kicking ass.
Hells yeah! And while it is a spectral tentacle, quick call, Archie. Are you going to let this grapple?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yes.
We definitely need to grapple. It doesn't say it can, but I mean, yeah, of course, it's a tentacle.
It's melee spell grapple attack. It clearly says it right there. It's a tentacle.
Because it's just a tentacle that sticks out of the ground, would it be a little portal that opens up that travels around with your tentacle? Or would it be a tentacle of water, like a water whip? Or how would you dress yours up?
I believe Rita actually went with a water whip, and I really like that.
Very Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I am a big fan of the water whip. However, I'm going to go with weeds, stinky weeds from the ocean.
Kelp, seaweed.
Yeah, kelp, seaweed, all that disgusting, itchy stuff. Just so you get the imagery of the smell and the itch when you slap people in the face with it.
No worries. At level 1, you also get Gift of the Sea, which gives you a swim speed of 40, and you can breathe underwater. Now, I've played campaigns that have gone nowhere near water, so hit and miss this one. But if you play like the right Ghost of Saltmarsh or anything that has water in it, and even some flooded dungeons, you'll definitely be able to take advantage of this, and this will make you kick ass all the time.
And we're both blokes that have worked in the mines. And Archie, what is there a shit ton of underground?
You'd be surprised how much water there is damn well underground.
There's a goddamn lot of water underground, people. Then we go on a 6th level. Do you want to take this one?
Sure thing. Oceanic Soul. At 6th level, you are now even more at home in the depths. You gain resistance to cold damage. In addition, when you are fully submerged, any creature that is also fully submerged can understand your speech, and you can understand theirs. So, you're having problems talking with a hostage, even just a friendly person in town. You don't speak each other's languages. They don't know what you're doing. You grab them. You manhandle them over to a water trough. You dunk them under, and then while they're struggling, you stick your head in and then say, hey, stop panicking. This is the only way we're going to be able to talk, man.
I love it. Guardian Coil. So if that wasn't good enough, if the ability to let's just say you'd get advantage on intimidation with that from me, for sure. I think it might even be you don't get to roll. They're intimidated. They're sufficiently intimidated. But you also get at 6th level, they're given 2 features. Is your Guardian Coil. Your Tentacles of the Deep can defend you and others, interposing itself between them and harm. When you or a creature you can see takes damage within 10 feet of tentacle, you can use your reaction to choose one of those creatures and reduce the damage to that creature by 1d8. Also, when you get to 10th level, that doubles to 2d8. First of all, reaction reducing by 1d8, fantastic.
Yeah.
I would also, if somebody was willing to cast an enlarged spell on this, I would allow you to double that d8s to like 3d8 or 4d8 or 5d8 or something, because that would be very cool.
Could even keep knocking it down. If it's a water or SeaWorld whip and it keeps whittling down to a small creature and it gets 10 foot. You could lean into that. Yeah.
And like while you're interrogating them underwater, they try and headbutt you. And the seaweed just sort of goes, not today, girlfriend.
No worries. Hey, at 10th level, we gain Grasping Tentacles. Got to make sure I say that correctly. You learn the spell Evard's Black Tentacles. It counts as a warlock spell for you, but it doesn't count against the number of spells you know. Finally, you can also cast it once without a spell slot, another thing that warlocks need, and you regain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. But good. Whenever you cast a spell, your patron's magic bolsters you, granting you a number of temporary hit points equal to your warlock level. Moreover, damage can't break your concentration on this spell. This just keeps getting better and better and better. You learn a spell.
Every sentence
is kicking ass here. You learn a spell. It doesn't count against the spells you know.
Tell me something else in the game that can't be broken. Your concentration can't be broken. Another spell. This next one at 14th level is one of my favorite abilities in the game. It's right up there with the 14th level for the Bug Ranger. Forget the name of it. Swarm Keeper. Fathomless Plunge. You can magically open temporary conduits to water destinations. As an action, you can teleport yourself and up to 5 other willing creatures that you can see within 30 feet of you. Amid whirls of tentacles, you all vanish and reappear up to 1 mile away in a body of water you've seen, pond or larger, or within 30 feet of it, each of you appearing in the unoccupied space within 30 feet of each other. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or a long rest.
Yeah, so not a huge teleportation spell, but I mean, before you go into a dungeon, if you guys were to just cast Create Water a bunch of times and leave a pond-sized thing outside for the horses and whatever to drink, and you're like, we'll come back to that if we need it.
This reminds me of the Shadow Monk's ability that everyone loves to travel through shadows. Except you could do it with your whole party, and it's just teleport to water anywhere within a mile, not just shadow.
You find a safe room in a dungeon and just create a bunch
Fill
of
it with
water in
water.
there.
Yeah, love it.
From Create Water, and then it's always, we're going to go back in. That'll be our safe place. It gets us away from danger. We're all, then we can come back and have another crack at it. Like,
I love it. And like, I especially like, you know me, I always allow a lot of shenanigans. This is the sort of thing you could totally do like a Scooby-Doo montage where they're like they're getting access through a castle. So they're like, the whole party runs over here, and then you see them pop up, their heads coming out of the fountain and look around, pop back down, and then appear, you know, in another, like a bathtub over there behind
back
someone.
to the moat. Yep.
Just keep like disappearing around guards, just popping up. Love everything about this, and it seems like something that could be a lot of fun.
All in all, what are your likes and dislikes about this one, Mitch? Sum it up for us.
I'm trying to think of a dislike. Is too awesome a dislike?
Perhaps. I mean, I can see some technicalities you got to be mindful of, such as the Guardian Coil. I guess you've got to have your tentacle out, which only lasts a minute. So, you know, timing is everything in some of these things. So
True.
So you won't necessarily get it first round, but until you can get it out and going. The cold resistance is great. Like, go Tiefling, you got fire and you got cold. You know, resistance is just fantastic. The talking underwater is just a quirky, fun thing to.
I love it. Like, you know me, I love unique features. Like that's up there with the Aberrant Mind being able to tag someone within 30 feet, and then as long as they're within 5 miles, he has free reign to talk in their head. Like,
it's a cool thing to do. And the Tentacle's useful. It's amazing. Maybe around level 8, when it's still only doing 1d8, it may not be as awesome, because it's not quite doing that 2d8 yet, so okay. Yeah. But it's just a bonus extra damage. You're already blasting with your Eldritch Blast a few times, and if you theme that appropriately, it'll come out nice. So I think this will be a good fun class. So the spells are good. Everyone keeps you on point. Everyone keeps the theme going. This is different from the other Warlock I played. So I'm all about this. This is a class done right. Watch on.
And like,
Clockwork
you've got your Grasp for Hadar. You've got your Knocking Blast sort of things. So like, you can hit them with an Eldritch Blast at like level 5 twice, and you knock them back 20 feet. And then your Tentacle attacks them, reducing the movement speed by 10.
Yeah. You
and
take a 5-foot step back.
And you knock them 20. That's crazy. That's a crazy combo at level, like at level 5, I said, but level 1 even. That's amazing.
And the range, it's all good. It's all fantastic. So
that's fantastic.
Well, thumbs up for this class, but character concepts. What are you thinking? How would you put this all together to make yourself a kick-ass character, Mitch?
Well, I just can't get past. I can't unsee the grasping testicles.
Testicles?
I just can't. I can't unsee it.
I said it very clearly.
No, as soon as you said that, I can't unsee it. I'm just like, God damn. So I think I'd have to go, like, you know, you got to love the Triton for this sort of thing. You've got to,
very on theme.
You know, you're coming from the sea, Aquaman style, to fix the world. People have invaded into your realm, and you're going to take the power of the deep back to them. When I look at this is a character that can sit in the back of a campaign and still be amazing. This mechanically is amazing, and the concept's just as amazing, and it does a lot of it speaking on its own. So I could come up with an amazing character for this, but I honestly would love to see my friends reach their goals and somehow tie them to me. Like, hey, they saved me, and now I'm sworn to protect them. Okay. And off I go on an adventure, being an awesome, just ridiculous creature.
No worries.
Oh, that's me. That's me. This to me is a background, a support character that's capable of so much.
For me, I did love the story of the storm-wrecked sailor who called out to something and was answered and was given the powerful. I'm on board there. But now, for me, I'd be thinking, and I talked to my DM, everywhere we go, I keep carving these symbols for water, ocean, whatever it is, everywhere we go. Because eventually, when we track all around the map or all around everything, I've now created ley lines of water runic symbols that are all over the place that will now separate that chunk of land and drop it below the ocean. So right at the height of the campaign, when the whole thing comes to a finish, and everyone else has saved the village, has done whatever, your runes light up all of a sudden, and the whole place sinks down into the ocean or something like that. So everyone has just saved, and that's the end of the campaign. Everyone has saved the place, and you've just, boom,
Start a campaign 2. You're the BBEG.
I've taken it back, and that's cool. So just having that secret mission of reporting back to the water, and every now and again you might go to a river and just stick your head in and just communicating and pop back. Nothing, just talking, just communicating with my.
Why have I got like talking heads in my head at the moment? Like everywhere you go, you're always making waterfall runes. Everywhere you go, I don't know why that's in my head, but I love it. DMs. Be very, very careful with new players who are taking this subclass with the Bard. Remember the word tentacle and hentai and draw the rest. You can see where it could go if you don't know the people you're playing with and know what they're comfortable with. This could get very confronting very fast. Definitely know what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with, because yikes.
No worries. Anything else for DMs?
Be lenient with the tentacles. It's an amazing role play, and allow them to grapple.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It does.
Let it happen.
Hey, for DMs, I want you to remember that water is everywhere. Water is key to societies and key to survival, and things are based on rivers. So back in the day, that's how societies grew, that on a river, on a harbour. So water is everywhere. Even when you look around today, like we've got a lot of drainage systems made for taking water away to the oceans and such, whereas those wouldn't exist back in the day. There'd be a lot more ponds. There'd be a lot more rivers because we divert water so much better than pump it out rather than what we used to. So there'd be a lot more bigger rivers. And there'd also be a bit more lying ponds. There'd be farms that have ponds because their governments don't stop them from building ponds and dams. There'd be a lot of damn things out there.
Nice.
So many dams that damned. That water would be everywhere. And if this player really wants to shine and grow, you're gonna have to put water in some bits. The sub basement of the dungeon is flooded. Oh, my time to shine! I'm going down there, and I'm just gonna loot all the rubbish, and everyone's just gonna hold their breath. So, familiarize yourself with holding breath, and add a bit more water into the game to allow this person to shine. Now, you don't need full dungeons of water. Every room doesn't have to be flooded. Everything, fair's fair, but you should be giving this class some breaks to be able to swim, use those breathing techniques and things like that, and bring them about. And that player will really appreciate that class was just fucking gas, and the campaign was great, and they loved it. So it's as simple as that. Add some water around your game, and remember it's there, and this class will thank you sincerely.
Yeah. And having this class in your campaign could be its own reward. Like, goddamn, there's so many cool abilities that
there's
options to make your game amazing.
What about for players? What do you reckon if I was planning on playing one of these? How do I make sure I'm going to get the most out of this, Mitch?
Mechanically, be aware of where your tentacle is and where your teammates are. It does have reach, so you don't need to move right up to the person. You could move 10 feet from them, 10 feet from you. That way you can attack them, reduce their movement speed, and if there's a ranged attack, it could still impose itself between and reduce the damage. Always fun. But I think I'm going to go with talk to your DM about your intentions. If the words hentai come up, make sure they're comfortable with it, because honestly, I'm going to say that the only bad thing about this class is if somebody goes bard and this, some tavern pickup scenes could get very weird very fast.
Cool.
And yeah, you know.
See where it goes.
Yeah, I've never come into that situation, but I've heard they happen, and it's very scary.
No worries. For me, it would be pick the campaign they're going to play this in. If you're going to the desert, this one isn't going to shine potentially as much. But then again, maybe you're a savior in the desert. So understand where your limitations are. If this is a water campaign and a pirating sort of thing, then you are going to be fighting people off to play this class. Everyone's going to want to play this class. Like, you're going to have to figure out how many Fathomless Warlocks you can put in this campaign before you realise there's probably got enough Fathomless Warlocks in the campaign at the moment. Really enjoy that. See, figure out who your Pact of the Deep's going to be. There are so many ones out there. Dagon, Cthulhu. You could go back to them, like with the other. If you like, that's Far Realm stuff that's already in the other patrons of the Warlock, or for otherworldly, or potentially, it is a water elemental, the plane, or maybe the ocean itself is talking to you.
I like that.
The ocean is sentient, like mountains are sentient, like things have a spirit about them, and you commune with it. So it's the water that's, or the magical water, or the something that's communicating. You can do some stuff with there, especially on the sea. Praying, leaning over the boat and talking to, putting your hand in the water and talking to it as you travel, like having that bond. Like, this could be cool. It could definitely be cool for your players. But I mean, mechanically, you're going to be fine. You don't have too many problems with what you're doing mechanically. You're covered by the subclass.
I'm just going to say it. If you want to see a different type of Fathomless Warlock, go watch the movie Moana.
Yep.
Watch the little girl get lifted out of the water by the tentacles of water, put back on the boat, and it takes a demigod and throws him off the boat. That's a crazy powerful warlock right there.
That's cool. That is cool.
Got to bring the Disney in.
Yeah. Hey, Mitch, thanks again for joining us. You got anything else happening these days, or are you still in your D&D drought?
It should be when this releases. I'm going to go have a chat to our good mate Valiant.
Oh, yes.
Because I want to talk about fighters, because fighters are amazing. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
No worries.
And just one of those things that always wanted to do, because like this, talking about the Fathomless Warlock, I think fighters get a bad rap. I remember my first campaign, my fighter had an intelligence of 16, and regardless, was still known as the dumb fighter.
Sometimes that's how you play.
Yeah, probably the guy behind the mask.
Well, thanks for joining us, Mitch. Remember, we're still doing, hopefully we're still doing it at this stage, depending on when you pick up this video. But as it drops, we should be doing live streams of White Plume Mountain, which wouldn't be a bad one for a Fathomless Warlock, if I was to give people a little hint there. So that should be on Monday nights, streaming on Crit and Mrs. Twitch, and we'll be putting the episodes after on the YouTube channel, so keep an eye out for that. Other than that, thank you very much so for joining it. Do the YouTube thing down the bottom, and please, if you can come up with a better one than my wife's Nancy Boy noble who couldn't get dirty concept for a character, put it down there for us so we can all compare who's got the best Fathomless Warlock.
Hell yeah. All right, and I'll see you next time, buddy. That was awesome.
Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye.